Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of your OGR, as today is Game 6 as the Edmonton Oilers went up against the Philadelphia Flyers and unfortunately fell to the Flyers 5-3 in a game where we lost it in the third period. Pure and simple. We won this game in the first and second period. But goaltending, defense failures, and a horrible third period is what cost the Edmonton Oilers this W in this game. It really did. I thought we played really good throughout the entire game. We deserved to win this game without a doubt. The first and second period shouldn't have been 3-3. It shouldn't have been. We should have been, having the lead. The 3 goals shouldn't have happened. It sucks. It really does suck to, lose a game. But we had a tremendous start to the season. We weren't going to win every single game. We were going to lose sooner or later a game where we just didn't perform very well. And this was kind of one of the games where we just played really bad in the third period and we just couldn't close it down. The last goal there, the empty netter, was a little bit rough, but no matter which way you look at it, even if it was offside, there was no way of us possibly coming back into this game. Like the Edmonton Oilers were playing like crap majority of that third period where the Flyers were playing pretty good. Like it was a steady pace between both the teams. It didn't look like the Oilers were playing with any intensity. They didn't look like they were playing with anything near the end of that game, even though we were down by 1. But before we get into all that and reviewing the Edmonton Oilers game, I'd like to just say, if you are new to the channel, make sure to slap that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. That'll be very much appreciated, boys. So let's get into talking about the game here between the Flyers and the Oilers, and we'll get to the first goal, which is Claude Giroux. I gave him some hype on the stream. Somebody asked me who was my favorite Flyer, and I said Claude Giroux because he's one of the more underrated players there in Flyers there. And he scored the first goal of the game for the Philadelphia Flyers, and it was a gorgeous goal, to say the least. Now, to start it all off, it was a really bad pinch by Darnell Nurse. I'm pretty sure it was really bad pinch by Darnell Nurse. I hate what he always does. It's like this fake pinch where he goes after the player, but he tries to keep him on the outside, but then they yet always make a move. And Duncan Keith does this exact same thing where they push up way too far, and then it leaves like basically a 2-on-1 on the other defenseman, and it seems like they always do this. Darnell Nurse is not a very good defenseman. He's an offensively minded defenseman who the people think he could play defense, but he can't. Yeah, sure, he could block a lot of shots and he could hit a lot, but when it comes to actually playing good defense and using the stick, he can't. He's horrible at it, and that play just shows it pure and simple that he pushed up way too fast, and he should have been playing back a little bit further because it left open a good chance there for Konecny and Giroux to set each other up, and Giroux wrapped it around, which CC wasn't able to get a handle of it. Koskinen bit hard, hugging to the post, so he wasn't able to get over to the other post. But it was just, a very poorly managed play there by the Edmonton Oilers. We should have played a little bit more back defensively, even though we can't, apparently, because every time we decide to play defense, it seems like we push and we try to get that puck on our hands before they get a shot off, which is just a dumb way to play defense, pure and simple. And then the second goal was just that we were playing lazy. I know people will probably blame Koskinen for being lazy with his puck playing skills, which, yes, Koskinen is not a very good puck handler, and I will say that. But with the fact that Tyson Barrie was so lazily coming into the zone, it was a joke. He got beat by another player in Ub Kubel who was skating his ass off and got past Barrie, which then ended up, before he even got there behind the net, Ub Kubel was already on Mikko Koskinen before Barrie hit the back of the net, which shouldn't have happened. Barrie should have been pushing. And I cannot believe I have to dissect every fucking goal and blame the defense because it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be the fact that we're letting in 3 goals per fucking game because our defense can't play defense. It's because of Ken Holland putting this stupid team together because he thought Tyson Barrie was a good defenseman and thought Nurse was a good defenseman. Trading away Bear was stupid. I don't care how many times I have to say that, but saying that Bouchard is our best defenseman out on the team right now and he's leading the team in ice time is a complete fucking joke. It shouldn't be happening like this. I love Bouchard that he's the main guy on the team, but we should be having other guys that should be playing better. We're paying Darnell Nurse here very soon $9 million, and we're saying Evan Bouchard's the best defenseman out there? What is going on? Like, it is a joke, the mess of defense that Holland's put together. Like, the Nurse and Bouchard pair was the only thing that was going good for us throughout that entire game, was that defensive pairing between Nurse and Bouchard. Bouchard's actually making Nurse look good, surprisingly enough. Every defensive pairing played like crap throughout the game, though. Keith played like crap, CC played like crap, Cuckoo was a bum, and Barry, I don't know why they keep playing him the amount of ice time they play him, but he was playing like crap throughout the game as well. But for this beautiful goal that Tyson Barrie absolutely gave us, where he took a beautiful pass there by Draisaitl and absolutely downed it with a beautiful backhand there on Carter Hart to kind of, get us back in the game. And I was like, holy crap, Tyson Barrie, you play horrible defensively, and then you go out there and you score a magnificent goal. I guess you kind of rebound yourself a little bit, right? And then Connor McDavid gets a huge power play goal, which Barrie got an assist on that one. But McDavid got a beautiful goal there with his 7th of the season. I think he was trying to pass it over to Puljujärvi, but it went off of Justin Braun's stick and legit just floated right into the back of the net. And it was great to see that. It was awesome. But then for some reason near the end of the game, it seemed like our brains just totally shut down and melted. And we just let Cam Atkinson score. Legit. I don't know how many of our third line players were just letting it get dumped down the ice. They were just skating like nothing was happening because it was like the dying seconds of the period. And Nurse kind of batted right towards Atkinson instead of just going right after Atkinson and taking the body with the last few minutes left. He let Atkinson take a shot. And he threw it right into the back of the net. And they put him up 3-2 with a second remaining left in the first period. That pisses me off. I hate when I see a team just fly it in throughout the rest of the period. Just fly it in. You know what? We scored a great goal there by Connor McDavid. All right, we'll just fly it in. No, you play 110% until the fucking period's done. You don't just float around and expect the period's going to end and nothing bad's going to happen, because then this happens. And I hate that I see this all the time with this team where we just see us like, oh yeah, the period's almost done. We'll just quit here. It's a joke. And we played the exact same way in the third period. But, at least during the second period, we didn't look too bad. And Zach Hyman got a beautiful goal. His 6th of the season. I'm also liking that, Tippett's actually keeping the lineup combinations of Hyman, McDavid, Puljujärvi, and then Nudes, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto. I actually think it's quite working well. The Draisaitl line needs to get a little bit more going. They weren't able to produce big numbers, but they're looking quite well. They're generating some opportunities, and they're looking good. They're getting some opportunities. Yamamoto was all over the ice last night. He's just not throwing anything in the back of the net, but Yamamoto was looking quite well. He just hasn't, put up a point this year, sadly, which is very sad because the guy, he's just been on a rough patch these last little bit, and I feel like he does deserve a few goals because he's had some terrific opportunities throughout that game. But on the Hyman goal, it was a beautiful one-time setup there by Puljujärvi getting it over to him, but it was a great start in the corner. It was a great battle there by Zach Hyman in that corner, getting it over to Puljujärvi, and then Puljujärvi kind of sending it over to McDavid. And it was a really good battle in the corner, which, was kind of, weird to say because a lot of the time we would lose these puck battles in the corner. But now having seen Zach Hyman out there, he's such a worker, dude. I mean, he really is. His 6th goal of the season, and he just seems to be unstoppable right now for the Edmonton Oilers. And he's looking magnificent in an Oilers uniform. He really is. He's becoming one of my favorite Oilers in Zach Hyman. And I'm absolutely loving the way that Zach Hyman plays every single night. He's really, really impressing me. And I'm absolutely loving it here for Zach Hyman. But keep it up, man. I'm loving it. It's 6th goal of the season. He's been an absolute wrecking path. Yeah, 6 goals, 1 assist, 7 points in 6 games. He's a goal per game. Absolutely nutty for Zach Hyman. And then we go into the third period where we just seemed to absolutely quit. It seemed like we just gave up. Atkinson got the goal with an absolute beautiful slap shot past Koskinen, and then probably a save that Koskinen should have made. And then the rest of the game, we just floated it in. I mean, the Couturier one was a bit rough. That should have been offside. But, I mean, what was it going to change? The team was looking like crap the entire third period. No offense. But the team was looking like crap all third period long. We weren't going to generate anything. Our third line wasn't looking very good. Our second line was looking pretty good, and our first line was as well. But we were looking dead in that third period. We weren't generating anything. Every time we had a chance, it seemed like we just gave up. We weren't trying at all. And it seemed like it really was that this game. And me and Perlo were kind of talking about it, how they were trying to get in overtime. And it kind of did look like that. They weren't looking like they were trying to score anything during that third period. And I thought it was going to be more, a bit more of trying here in that third period. But it seemed like they just gave up. And it's not too big of a deal, though. This is definitely a rough game for the Oilers. But we just went on a 5-game winning streak. And, it's all about us bouncing back now on Saturday. That's the biggest thing, is how we will bounce back against the Vancouver Canucks on Saturday, because this game is really rough. But one critique, what the hell is that fourth line doing out there, Tippett? Why are we playing Devin Shore, who was a complete bum all night? He had 0% in expected goal scoring and in defense. He was horrible all night long. He was horrible. And guess how many minutes he played? Only 448, man. And he was playing like a bum. You cannot be having that. Devin Shore looks horrible. Kyle Turris is not very good. And then you also got Brendan Perlini, which has been as well. We got to change up that fourth line. It is not the preseason anymore, Tippett. It is the regular season. These guys are not very good. I don't know how many times you have to see that with Kyle Turris. I don't know how many times you have to see that with Devin Shore. I don't know how many times you have to see that with Brendan Perlini. These guys are not good. It's not the preseason anymore. Pull them out. We could be using somebody like Ryan McLeod, who we unfortunately sent down to the minors, who was actually looking quite well last year and was actually playing better than Devin Shore. Also, Tyler Benson and Colton Scurvio, who we signed and actually look better than Kyle Turris and Brendan Perlini. It's a joke. Also, our defense looked like crap. Keith was absolutely horrible. 3 giveaways on the night. He was just you might as well just call him a flyer already. He was just practically handing the puck to the Flyers. And CC did not look very well at all. I felt like he had a really rough night as well. Cuckoo and Barry. Barry looks as horrible as ever every single night. But for that one goal that he had, that's the only time he actually looked good. But yeah, and Koskinen, he made some big saves. I give it to him. He played not that bad. Yes, he definitely should have made some saves when he should have made them, but in the end, he did make some big saves that kept us close in this game when we should have been playing a lot better defensively. So, in the end, it's not a terrible game here for the Edmonton Oilers. We should have won it without a doubt, but, it's one of those games that, we just didn't play very well defensively, and we should have played a lot better. But, no, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Adios, amigos.